If you're missing someone, replaying memories, or just can't sleep, this is for you. Letters to the one who left, sad love stories. I found your letter in the drawer where I used to keep your sweaters, the ones I refused to wash because they still smelled like you. The paper was creased, like it had been opened and closed too many times, like it carried a weight too heavy for its thin skin. I didn't read it at first. I stared at your handwriting, the soft, lazy loops of your Y's and the way you always dotted your I's with tiny hearts, even when we were fighting. It was dated a week before you left, before you said you couldn't do this anymore. I still don't know what this meant. Was it me? Was it love? Was it everything? That night, the silence was unbearable. I lay in our bed, my bed now, staring at the empty half, still dented in the shape of you. I wanted to hate you. I tried. I replayed the way you walked out, how your jaw clenched like you were holding back tears or holding back truth. I remember the way your hand hovered near mine like you almost wanted to stay. Almost. But you didn't. I read the letter eventually. My hands trembled. If I had met you at a different time, when I wasn't scared, when I wasn't broken, I think we could have lasted forever. You were my safest place, and that scared me more than anything. What do you do with a letter like that? A goodbye that sounds like a love song? I pressed it to my chest and cried until my ribs ached. It wasn't just your leaving that broke me, it was knowing you loved me while walking away. And still, I would have stayed. I would have stayed through the fear, through the broken pieces, through the silence. But you didn't ask me to. And so, now I write my own letter, never to be sent, just whispered into the night. I loved you. I still do. But I'm learning to love me, too. I thought I was getting better. Some days, I'd go hours without thinking of you. I'd play music again, the kind you never liked but I always did, and I'd pretend I was fine. I'd even laugh at TikToks, eat real meals, and tell my friends I was moving on. But healing is a cruel kind of liar. It waits until 2:43 a.m., when the world is quiet, and sends your memory back like a ghost, haunting, uninvited. I'll be lying in bed, almost asleep, when suddenly I hear your voice in my head saying I love you. And I remember how you used to fall asleep mid-sentence. How you stole the covers. How you kissed my forehead like it was a promise. And then, I'm wide awake again. Your name still lives in my phone, buried under Do Not Text. But I do. I type. I delete. I write things like, I miss you. Do you ever think of me? Was I not enough? But I never send them. Because I already know. I see you online sometimes. You changed your profile picture. You look happy. Your new girl wears your hoodie now, the one I bought for your birthday. I wonder if she knows how you drink your coffee, how you get quiet when you're overwhelmed, how you hate thunder but love storms. I wonder if she knows that I taught you how to say I'm sorry, because before me, you never did. The truth is, I wasn't just heartbroken. I was humiliated. Because I gave you every version of myself, laughing, crying, soft, sharp, and still, it wasn't enough to make you stay. I over-explained my heart while you barely spoke yours. Do you remember that one night in the car, when we sat in silence for 15 minutes after a fight? You wouldn't look at me, but your knuckles were wide around the steering wheel. I stared out the window, pretending the tears on my face were just reflections from the city lights. That was the night I realized love shouldn't feel like begging. And yet, I stayed. Because I believed in us. Because I thought you just needed time. Because I wanted to be the one who fixed your broken pieces. But I bled trying to stitch your wounds. It's been 7 months now. Your toothbrush is gone. Your scent has faded from my pillows. Your key is in a drawer I never open. But you still live in my dreams, in flashbacks triggered by stupid things, like your cologne on a stranger or that song we danced to in the kitchen. You still live in the version of me that hasn't learned how to forget. But I'm trying. One untyped message at a time. One deep breath when I see your name. One promise to myself that I won't romanticize the pain anymore. Because love shouldn't feel like losing yourself. And now, I'm learning how to come home to me. A year later. I saw you today. Of all places, it was the grocery store. Aisle 4. Near the cereal you always said reminded you of childhood. You were reaching for a box when you looked up, and there I was. Time didn't stop. The world didn't slow down like in the movies. But my breath did. My heart stuttered in that stupid, familiar way. You looked older. Not by age, but in the eyes. A little tired. A little softer. Like life had carved you into someone quieter. We stood there. Two people who used to share toothbrushes, playlists, and promises. You smiled. I did too. But it wasn't the smile of lovers. It was the smile of I once loved you, and maybe a part of me always will, but I'm okay now. You said, hey. I said, hey. We didn't talk about the letter. Or the tears. Or the late nights where I almost texted you come back. We didn't talk about the girl after me, or the boy I dated for a month just to prove I wasn't broken. You asked how I'd been. I lied and said good. You did the same. We laughed about something small, maybe the price of milk or how they still play 2010 songs in the store speakers. And then there was that silence. The kind where you know something just ended. You nodded. I'm glad you're doing okay, you said. I nodded back. You too. And that was it. You walked away, and I didn't chase you. This time, I didn't replay the moment 1,000 times in my head. I didn't write unsent texts or cry myself to sleep. I just stood there, in aisle 4, next to a box of cereal, and breathed. Because sometimes closure isn't a grand apology. It's not a late-night text or a handwritten letter. Sometimes closure is just two people seeing each other, and realizing they survived the heartbreak. Later that night, I found the letter again. Your letter. The one that once shattered me. I didn't cry this time. I read it. Folded it. And then I burned it in the kitchen sink. The flames danced like a final goodbye. And for the first time since you left, I felt free. Hey, if you're still here, listening, that means your heart is heavy. I just want you to know something. You didn't deserve the pain. But you do deserve the healing. People leave. People break you. And sometimes the ones you love the most become strangers with your secrets. But please understand. Their choice to hurt you doesn't define your worth. Take your time. Cry if you need to. But don't let this be the end of your story. You're still here. You're still breathing. That means there's still a next chapter waiting. One where you're stronger, wiser, and finally at peace. And I promise you, one day, the pain will be just a memory. And you'll smile, not because it didn't hurt, but because you survived it. You are not alone in this. I'm proud of you for making it this far. Keep going. If you've ever loved too deeply or lost too silently, you're not alone. Headphone new videos every week. Subscribe, feel, heal.